Nike. The iconic swoosh, the just do it mantra, the $50 billion juggernaut that redefined sportswear. But behind the brand that's everywhere from track fields to fashion runways is a wild, untold story of grit, chaos, and luck. At the heart of it all, a college track coach named Bill Bowerman and a scrappy entrepreneur named Phil Knight. Together, they built Nike, one crazy idea, one pair of shoes, and one relentless step at a time. In Shoe Dog, Knight takes us behind the scenes of this incredible journey. Today, we're diving into 5 jaw-dropping stories that reveal how Nike became one of the most recognized brands in the world. Imagine this, it's 1962, and a young Phil Knight is fresh out of business school, aimless but with one burning question on his mind. Can Japanese running shoes compete with the big German brands like Adidas and Puma? Most people would dismiss the idea, but not Knight. He convinces his dad to fund a trip to Japan, where he meets executives at a company called Onitsuka Tiger, now ASICS. Knight doesn't have a company, he doesn't even have a name, but he pitches himself as the US distributor for their shoes. To his shock, they agree. Suddenly, Knight has 12 pairs of running shoes to sell out of his car. That's how Nike began, not with a grand plan, but with a wild leap of faith and a trunk full of sneakers. Bill Bowerman wasn't just a legendary track coach, he was an inventor. Obsessed with creating lighter, faster running shoes, Bowerman spent endless hours experimenting with designs and materials. One morning, inspiration struck in the most unlikely place, his kitchen. He poured liquid rubber into his wife's waffle iron, and out came a sole with a unique grid pattern. That pattern offered better traction and flexibility, making it perfect for runners. This invention became the foundation of Nike's first major product, the Waffle trainer. It was a game changer, and it all started with a kitchen appliance and Bowerman's relentless curiosity. The Waffle trainer didn't just sell, it launched Nike into the big leagues. Building Nike wasn't a sprint, it was a grueling marathon. In the early days, Knight was constantly on the verge of bankruptcy. Every dollar Nike made went straight back into inventory, leaving no cushion for emergencies or paychecks. At one point, Knight had to mortgage his house to keep the company afloat. Banks turned him down, suppliers pressured him, and lawsuits loomed. But Knight and his small team believed in their product and their athletes. One of their first major breakthroughs came when they signed a brash young runner named Steve Prefontaine. Prefontaine didn't just wear Nike, he embodied it. Bold, determined, and a little rebellious. His performances on the track helped put Nike on the map and proved that the swoosh wasn't just a logo, it was a symbol of excellence. The Air Jordan line is legendary, but it almost didn't happen. In the 1980s, Michael Jordan was set on signing with Adidas. Nike, still seen as a running shoe company, wasn't even on his radar. Phil Knight and his team knew they had one shot. They created a custom pitch, including prototypes of the Air Jordan line, and a vision of how Jordan would become not just a player, but a global icon. It worked. Jordan signed, and the Air Jordan became a cultural phenomenon, generating billions in revenue and cementing Nike's dominance in the sneaker game. The lesson? Nike wasn't just selling shoes, they were creating legends. And of course, there's the story of Nike's iconic logo. In 1971, Knight turned to a graphic design student named Carolyn Davidson to create a logo that symbolized movement and speed. Davidson sketched the now famous swoosh, and Knight's reaction? "I don't love it, but maybe it'll grow on me." She was paid just $35 for the design. Later, when Nike took off, Knight made sure to reward her with stock options worth millions. The swoosh became more than a logo. It became a universal symbol of hustle and ambition. Shoe Dog isn't just a story about building a business, it's about risk, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of a dream. From waffle irons to Air Jordans, Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman proved that crazy ideas can change the world, if you have the guts to see them through. Love stories about the minds behind the world's biggest brands? Hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the books, ideas, and people shaping the world, because sometimes it's the craziest ideas that make history.